Hi, everyone. Linda Israel here. Thank you so much for being here during my live stream. I greatly appreciate your support. I've pre-recorded this so that we can have some of the behind the scenes done while you listen to me for just a moment. I again want to thank you so very much for being here during my live stream. If you could, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they can come join us. And if you will also give me a comment in the comment section after this video is done, and then definitely speak up in the chat and say hi. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, generally, if you're on a computer, you can go down below and look for the little gear. You can change that and make the speed faster. If you're on a mobile device, look up in the corner, up in this area for 3 little dots, and you can change the speed there as well. Those of you that are here live, do definitely speak up in the chat. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, those that are here live earn a virtual currency. Junkie Joe should be coming up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to check how many bucks that you have. What are bucks? They're junk bucks. It's just a virtual point system that I have created on my account when we're live so that you can redeem those once you get to 2,000 for a $10 off coupon to my shop. So you can type exclamation point bucks to see how many that you have. And if you have 2,000 and you're ready for a coupon code, type exclamation point award, and my official note takers will take down that information. Now, if you haven't already created an account on my website at lindaisrael.com, please do so, and then send me a message through the contact form letting me know what your YouTube username is. Why? So I'll have your email address and I can email you your coupon code. Also, if you make a donation throughout this live stream, you can be added to my YouTube donators membership that I have on my website. So again, create an account, say, hey, Linda, I donated, and tell me what your username is on YouTube if it's different. That way I can get you added to that. At the end of this stream, I will have journals made, and you will have the opportunity to win one of those journals. Throughout the live stream, we'll have some various raffles, and we also have in-chat games. So be looking out for that in the chat, and I'll kind of speak it up when I get to it. For example, if you type exclamation point raffle, right now you can be in a chance to win 200 junk bucks. So you'll be well on your way to getting 2,000 junk bucks. Normally, Robin is my official note taker. Sometimes Angelica is my official note taker. It kind of depends on what's going on. These are members and administrators of my Facebook group, the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, we'd love to have you come and join us over there. What else? Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. Hey, if you have a question, try to put it in all caps. That way I'll see it. If I don't see it, please don't be offended. The chat sometimes moves fast, and I'm usually looking down trying to create things. So please ask again. But if you know the answer that someone else's question, please go ahead and answer for them. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have a YouTube channel, you can't post your link, but you can say, I have a YouTube channel, and tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your channel name, something like that. Tell us what you do. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'm looking at the time. So roughly 5 minutes is when I'll get started. So it should be just a few more seconds. So definitely hang out in the chat, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Forgot to turn the sound on. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. I hope we got all the, the info that you needed out of the way. Hey, don't forget to join the raffle, RAFFLE, for 200 junk bucks. That is open now. And let's see. If you make a donation today, you can, at the end, win one of 2 journals that I'll be making today. And what else? Remember, if you make donations that you get a discount in my shop. Just make sure you create a user account and say, hey, Linda, I donated during the live stream. All right, so I'm working with the Enchanted Rose kits. I decided that I wanted to make pretty much an eclectic journal out of the same kit. So it's eclectic in that I use the subscription box. I use the planner kit. I also use the 2 large journal kits. So I had lots of elements, and then I was trying to use some things up that I had on my desk. So who saw my coffee dyeing tutorial that I shared this past weekend? Did you like that idea? I only do a few at a time. It doesn't take as much space for me to dye a couple of pages, so that's kind of why I like doing that. And I thought today we would decorate one of these and see if it makes y'all inspired to create. All right, so I have here a stencil from the Artistic Stencil Club. This is February, so this will be one of the February stencils. I'm moving stuff so I'm in the camera frame here. And I've got Distressed Ink Walnut Stain because I like this brown. And I've got an oval blending brush. So I just put the ink pad closer to me so it makes it a little bit easier for me to blend. And I'm just going to blend in the openings of the stencils. Now you want to be careful and not bend this back because it kind of sticks out. I've done it a couple of times because I was a little aggressive. But if you take your time and come in here and just blend over, you're going to get a really cool pattern on this coffee paper. Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like that technique. It's great for doing just a few sheets. Now, if I was going to spend the day and do the equivalent to a ream of paper, then I would do the dip method. I would lay them out on a plastic tablecloth, and then when they were somewhat dry, they were just slightly damp, I would use an iron and iron them. But that's an all-day ordeal. And I like being able to just dye a couple of pages at a time. So it's kind of fun to do it that way. You pay Junkie Joe off early, Robin? Well, how is everybody? Y'all having a good day? Did you have a great weekend? It still amazes me that we're in February, y'all. The second week of February. Oh, and hey, Angelica, welcome. I saw you popped in for a moment. How are your plans for moving? Are you still waiting on the government? All right, so this is one side. What do you think? And that look cool? So I'm just going to flip it over and do it this side. Now, a cheat way, if y'all didn't see my tutorial, is I could have painted this page with coffee and laid this stencil on top, and it would have created this stencil design on the paper. I'll show you what I mean here in just a little bit with some other pages that I made. So that's another way. If you don't want to spend the time to do this distressed ink, then you can coffee dye, leave the stencil on your piece of paper until it dries. In my case, it was overnight. You could speed it up a little bit, but remember, you can't put the stencil in the oven because it will melt and it won't smell good. Okay. Oh, I broke my stencil because I was too aggressive. I was trying to hurry. All right, so there's our pattern all over. Set this up here so I can find it later. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. You like my, thank you, Giovanni. You like my tutorial? Julie liked my tutorial. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It looks like it's tea dyed. It's coffee dyed. It's coffee dyed. Oh, happy birthday, Laura. The dishes are done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let me make sure. Okay, I only did it on one side. This is the side. I've got the flowering branch, and I've got the archival ink jet black. So I'll ink this up, and I'm inking up, but not coming all the way down onto the stem, just in case, because I want to go all the way around the page, and I'm just rotating my stamp. And I like doing this technique because here I have made 3 alterations to this page. First, it was a green piece of paper that I coffee dyed. Then I did the stenciling, and now I've done the rubber stamping, and we've added that much more texture, but we've not added any thickness. So I'm going to go ahead and go down the edge here. I just kind of like that peeking through when the page is folded. You're famous, known for your patience, Angelica. Did I know that about you? All right. Set this aside for a moment. All right, so there is this page stamped, and I think I am going to turn it over and do the other side because I need to do more stamping, and I'm going to glue some stuff on this side. I don't want it to get in the way of my stamping. Yeah. Okay, so in the Enchanted Rose kit and several of my other subscription box kits, you get this little ticket shape. I think this time I got you at least 4 in the kit. And so I took the stamp, if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. I stamped that on there, and I just did some distress inks around the edges. And I thought it would just look good as a contrast, because we're going to have a lot of pink in this journal, to have this coffee dyed vintage sepia tones to kind of tone things down. Hey Giselle, welcome. So glad to have you here. Junkmeister completely ignoring you today. Uh-oh. He didn't like you, Giovanna. You must not be holding your mouth right. Must not. Okay. So I put this down over here. I've got from the Butterfly Beauties Cube a little butterfly stamp. So I'm going to stamp like one right here. And, oh yeah, where's that thingy? Where's my doodad? There it is. And then I have from the subscription box one of the chipboard pieces. So I'm going to stamp another butterfly right there. And then I have this chipboard piece that I want to put over here. I'm going to put some distress inks on the edges of it. So this is how it comes. And I think there really probably is a top or a bottom, but I just like the way it looked. So I'm just going to go around the edges with the distress ink, and that'll bring up the color a little bit. You could also paint this with acrylic paint. You can alter it with Tattered Angels, although you got to remember it's going to have a brown base when you put Tattered Angels on there. I've showed different ways of using it, but I thought this would be kind of pretty. So we're going to glue that down right in the middle top here. Okay. You like that a stamp? That is a stamp. No, if nothing ever changed, is a rubber stamp. If nothing ever changed, is a rubber stamp. And my website is down right now. I'm going to ask Robin, since whatever stamps I mentioned, would you write down a list for me, please? And then what I'll do is make sure that once my website's back up, that the stamps are listed. I'll put them in the description box, or I will post them under the video, so that those that weren't here, or they couldn't get to I can't speak all of a sudden. Because the website was down, we couldn't get the links shared during the live, so we'll do it in the description box or below the video. All right, so I've just glued that down. I'll go ahead and put an acrylic block on it for a moment. Now, this is the small butterfly. I think that's right. And I want to colorize it. So I've got my paintbrush. And I've got the Enchanted Rose Tattered Angels. So any of those pinks, if you already have some pinks and you are getting the digital download for the kit, you can do that. with any color, the pink that you kind of want to match. Or you can order the Enchanted Rose kit. So I just quickly colored that in with some Tattered Angels with a paintbrush. Okay, I knew you had some of the links, but not all of it. Okay. And then I was going to put that right in the middle. And that cute little frame there. And the chipboard is kind of thick, so that's why I really didn't want to add any more bulk to the other side. Not too much anyway. Like that. And then we're going to glue this little flower, little rose down here in the corner. It's the weather you have trouble talking to. My words were not coming out as fast as I thought my brain was saying them. Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back side here. And then I will press it into place and it will seep out. I think I'm almost sold out. I may have one left. So if you are wanting the subscription box when my website gets back up, message me, or you can use Facebook. You can send me a message here on YouTube. Just say, hey, contact me. You can email me at, well, I think my email address is in the description box. All right. And I will get to you. All right, so I'm going to flip this over. That's all I'm doing on this side, okay? So if we had another piece of paper here, that's what you would come to on that page. And this is what you would see on that page, okay? So let's flip it over. On this side, I've got a book page, and I've got a fussy cut element. And I think what I want to do, I'm just kind of looking at this. Okay, yeah. So what I'm going to do is use my rotary cutter as a scoreboard. Ever do that? I don't use the blade. I will use a tool, which is a scoring device. And I'm just scoring down the edge. And then I'm going to rotate this and score this. What am I doing? I'm making a pocket. And by scoring this, I can make a little tab so that I can use the full depth of the pocket. And I'm just going to cut off some of this excess because I don't need all of that weight out there. Hi, Austin. Hey, Ashley. Oh my gosh, she turns 7 on February the 10th. Wow. Well, happy birthday, Z. Happy birthday. Awesome. Okay, so I've scored down this side, scored down this side. I'm going to cut across the corner there, okay? And then this will be folded in, and that will be folded in. Okay, well, that's kind of plain, the way that looks. It's kind of blah. So, we're going to get a big old, I got this great big Baroque background, I think is what it's called. And I'm inking it up, and it's a huge stamp. So it's one of those stamps that you really need a position, like a MISTI or stamp positioning type tool, or you got to stand up in order to get a good impression. Well, here's another way to do it. I'm going to take this piece of paper. This is the side I want stamped. I'll rotate it. I'm going to put my finger on it, and then I'm going to brayer over, and then it will stamp on my background. So it creates a background just by brayering over it. So now what I'm going to do is look at this, decide where I want to tear it, and then I'll come up here and just kind of tear this off. I'll cut the edge. See how that looks? And then let's go around the edge with some distress ink. Nope, wrong piece. Hey, Your Way Crafting, welcome. So glad you're here. She said, thank you, Grandma Linda. I'm a grandma. She got so excited when she heard that. Yay! Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday to all of you birthday babies in February. I believe I got 2 brothers that are born this month. I think one's the 10th and one's the 12th or the 15th. Oh, I got to go look it up. Gotta look it up. All right, so I'm just going to make this as a small tuck spot by just putting a little bit of glue on there. And I'm going to glue that right here. See how that gives us a little bit more. And now, these fussy cut elements are designed that if you want to go in with your intricate little scissors and cut this all out, I just use the guide on the outside because that's less time consuming. 18th for Robin on the birthday. My brother's at 27th, the same as Ashley's. I've got 3 brothers born in February. I've got 3 brothers. I got John, Daniel, and James. They're all born in February. Mom seemed to like whatever it was 9 months prior. All right, so I'm going to glue this in the corner down here as a tuck spot, corner pocket. Like that. And then from the kit, I have this. It says Tranquility. So we're just going to glue that across the top. And then we'll put this on here. By the way, I will have today, I decided to record one of the segments. So we're going to do that here in just a moment, as soon as I finish this page. I recorded a segment. And the reason being was I knew it was going to take a while to create. And it did. It took just over 45 minutes, about 45 minutes for me to do the video. And I edited it down to half that. So I'm going to just play it here in just a moment. So I won't be live talking, but I will be available in the chat. So if you have questions, I will be looking at that. I'll also just get the next page ready that I need to put together, because that'll take me just a moment. All right, so I'm just using one of the corners from the kit. And then I took another one of the tickets and I stamped the word journal from the Journal Quartet. I use the flowering branch around the edges. I zigzag stitched this onto a piece of fabric. And then I loaded up, in fact, I still think it is. I put oh, thank you, Robin, for your donation. I put the yarn onto my bookbinder's needle. I used a little piece of thread to pull it through, and then I poked it through and then just tied a little bow, and I thought that was kind of cute, just for something a little different. So now I'm just going to glue it down. Just putting little dots of glue all the way around. Put that right here. Have all these pieces of fabric laying around. All right, so I don't ever use the little tab, so I did today. What I did was I laid down a journal card before putting the tab on. I then laid down the small polka dot stencil, and I sprayed it with the rose blush, Tattered Angels, and I mopped it up as well, so I would look like this. And this is what I ended up with. I love how this turned out. I thought that was cool. I really like how the mop-up page turned out. And that's going to go right here. I just added a little page tab to the top. Of course, distressed ink, the edges. I also used my corner chomper to round the corners of that. Over here on this side, I used one of the bags that came in the Enchanted Rose kit. This is one of the fussy cut butterflies, and I just fussy cut, put that on there. And then I made a tag. So this was a scrap of paper I happen to have over here, and I guess it's about 3 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 by 7. And I put one of the tabs on there. And I just thought, well, this is just really simple. Just put it inside the sack, and then put the sack inside our tuck spot. And we have lots of color on this side. So here's what our journal page looks like. Simple. You like it? I hope you do. All right. So now, and I've made the sample page, just got a different corner with the same concept. All right, so we're going to look at my next journal page. So let me load that up, and I hope you enjoyed this recorded portion. Page, I've got an element from the Enchanted Rose digital download. I've just printed it on copy weight paper, and I have the stencil that comes with the Enchanted Rose subscription box and a book page, and I've got a few other supplies. I'm going to begin with this particular thing first, which is one of the file folders that comes in the Enchanted Rose kit, and I have about 5 sheets of those tear-off little notepads. And the first thing that I've done is I've gone around the edges with distressed ink walnut stain, and I've put a paper clip on here to help hold it in place, and we're going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch right across here with a zigzag stitch. Okay, I'm over at my sewing machine, and I have a regular thread, regular needle. I have it set on zigzag stitch. Mine is electronic machine, so I have the stitch width and length both set on 2, so it's kind of a narrow zigzag stitch. I will caution you that if you're going to sew, make sure that if you've put glue on anything, that it is dry before you start stitching. So what I'm going to do is just lay this down underneath here and then stitch right across the top. And there's the stitching across the top. I did this first because this step takes the longest, so I thought I'd go ahead and get it started. I'm going to use the best glue ever. My bottle is kind of dirty, but the best glue ever, because it's a glue that when it air dries, it stays tacky. So what I'm going to do is put down just a little bead right across the top where I've stitched. And I'm going to set this aside to dry, and we'll come back to it here in just a little bit. All right, so now I've got the rose stencil from the Enchanted Rose kit and a book page. And we're going to get my spray box and we're going to spray this. I've got the Tattered Angels Enchanted Rose from the subscription box, Enchanted Rose. And what I'm going to do is just spritz all over this book page and the stencil at the same time. I've got one of my papers here that's basically text weight paper. This particular one is a green linen. I've got an abundance of it in my stash, so I'm trying to use it up. And I'm mopping up on the stencil, so I am taking my hands and rubbing all over on the back side of this paper to soak up the Tattered Angels that's resting on top of the stencil. I'm not spraying the backside of this because I plan to use it for another page. So what I'm going to do right now is just set this aside to dry. So you see there's the pattern. And then here's our page with the pattern, Tattered Angels pattern all over. Got another piece of paper, and this is a junior legal notepad paper. And I'm going to lay this into my spray box here. And I've got the half sheet stencil that comes with the Enchanted Rose kit. I'm going to lay that down on top. I am deliberately placing this piece of paper onto my mop-up paper underneath because it'll create a little bit of a pattern around it, and I can use this later on. This time I'm going to grab the Lavender Rose from the Enchanted Rose kit, and I'm going to spray mainly on this side. I've got another page that I'll lay on top to mop up. I like doing this technique because you get a 2-for-1 in a sense. You spray it one time and you get 2 different looks. So I'll set this aside and save it for another project. And then here is my page underneath. And you can see how that makes a little frame on here. Now I'll use my heat tool to dry these pages because you really don't want it wet when you go to fold or cut a piece of paper. For this page today, I'm going to make basically kind of a collage on top of the book page, but I need to trim this piece. So let me get my paper cutter. So I'm going to trim off about 2.5 inches on this top portion. So that gives me 2 pieces of paper that I can use to have some writing space. Next, I'm going to go around the edges with some Distress Ink Walnut Stain. I've got a book page that I sprayed Tattered Angels. This was the teal rose onto a book page, and I used the January, or was it December? December Stencil Club, I believe it is. It's got the little dotted flowers in it. And what I want to do next is cut this to be the same width as this piece of paper. And then we're going to go around the edges with some Distress ink. So we're starting to layer up my pieces here. I've got a piece of coffee dye paper. I know, I coffee dye paper. I have a tutorial that even proves that I did. And all I've done is cut this to be 5 inches by 4 1/4. And that's going to go in this section down here. So you can see how we're slowly starting to build up a little collage of papers. I think what I want to do now, though, is go ahead and rubber stamp on these. Let me grab a scrap of paper. So I've got the coffee dye paper that I want to rubber stamp around the edges, and I also have this garden gate stamp. So we're going to stamp that first because I kind of want to guide the rest on where this is located. So I've got archival ink jet black. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I want to stamp this where it's coming off the page. So I'm kind of looking at the way my stamp is put together. And we're going to come in just a tad and then stamp. And you see how that makes a little gate. Next, I'm going to use from the Shabby Stitches. It's a little zigzag stitch. And I'm going to stamp coming from the side here. And then across the top. Down the other side, and then coming from the gate across. You see how that stamped all the way around? On this one, I know I want to stamp the flowers across the top, so I'm just going to grab the zigzag stitch, and I'm just kind of using this as a guide, and we'll stamp down the edge. So now I can take this stamp off and set it aside and grab from the stitches set. This looks like embroidery stitches. We're going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it across the top and then down this side. I'm not worried about the bottom because I am going to cover it up with this little, well, not that strip. This little strip will go kind of across the bottom there. On this one, I'm going to stamp across here and here and down the side. I'm not going to do the top because I plan to kind of cover that up. All right, so now that I have all of these stamped, I'm going to take my page and fold this in half. So now I know where my center is. Sometimes I'll go ahead just so I know, and I'll use my Distress inks. And if you really like that edge to be distressed, you can go around the edge now. All right, so I'm kind of gauging where I want everything by how big my page is and where I want everything to come together. I know I want this to come down here. Prior to the video, I made this little layered book page pocket. So what I did was I sprayed a book page with the pink Tattered Angels from the Enchanted Rose Tattered Angels kit. Then I overstamped with the Bella Rose medium stamp all over. Then I took a paintbrush and painted with the stem cut Tattered Angels in where the leaves are. I took a darker Tattered Angels and colored in the flowers. So it just kind of gave this really cool background. I used the large butterfly and colored it in with the teal Tattered Angels and fussy cut and put that down. And I stitched around there. This was a punch. It's an old one. It's from Martha Stewart. And I just punched it on some light cardstock and used some Distress ink to put on the back. I've added some tabs so that this can be a pocket. And that's going to go right down here in this area. So what I want to do right now is I'm just kind of gauging where I need to put everything. Okay, I think that's about right. So I'm going to put this piece down first. And this is one of those projects that if you like to sew, you could, instead of using the rubber stamps, you could sew this to the book page. And I'll use my bone folder to kind of help smooth this glue out underneath, and it'll help get that page adhered all the way down. All right, so this is going to go right across the bottom. So I want to make sure that there's a nice generous amount of glue right on that edge so that it doesn't catch in my pocket whenever I put stuff in it. All right, so you see how that's starting to come together? And then the pocket, I'm going to glue down here at the bottom, overlapping that green piece. I could have cut this piece a little bit bigger so I didn't have to put the green, but I kind of like that little green touch or teal touch peeking out behind the pocket. All right, just going to flip this over and then start collaging on this side. So this is going to go across the top here. This is going to go down here at the bottom. I want this down far enough that I have another piece of that book page that I've notched and I've gone around the edge with Distress inks. It's going to go across the top here. I've got other elements that'll help cover up this corner. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down here in the bottom. Now this could have been a pocket if your paper was sturdy enough. This tends to rip when it's coffee dyed because it makes the page a little bit more fragile. So I didn't double it up and make it to a pocket, but I could have. I've got from the kit, the Bella Rose, no, not the Bella Rose, the Enchanted Rose kit, one of the circle elements that's going to go down here in the corner. And I've got another element that's going to go here. So I want to make sure that I glue this down, that there's enough space. Okay, so I'm going to put this down first. And then I'm going to put this right on top. Okay. Then I have this little flag that's going to go across the top here. So see how it fills that corner in? And you could make this a tuck spot. I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it all the way down. Then I've got one of these fussy cut words. And I've got a piece of fabric here. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of fabric and cut it to give it a little frame. Then I'll glue these two together. And I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue. I buy the large bottle and then I squeeze it into this smaller bottle because it's easier to hold. And the lid that I have on this glue is from the Easy Squeeze Clear Gel Tacky Glue. And I just like that lid, so it's easy for me to close it up and keep my glue always ready to be dispensed. Okay, I'm liking that, how that's coming together. So this one is going to go right in here. I couldn't overlap it or bring it down. I think I'll kind of overlap it just a tad. This is also from the Enchanted Rose kit. I've used components from all three of the kits, the subscription box kit, from the planner kit, and the large journal kit. I've got some of these little Prima paper flowers. I got them out when I was doing the Ladies and Flowers journal, and I decided that I would keep them out on my desk because they kind of matched the colors that I was working with this kit, so I could use them up. I have so many in my stash, I need to use them up. I've got some flat back gemstones, so we're going to put those right in the middle of the flowers. I know I'm using bling, can you imagine? Okay, and then we're going to go back on this side, and I've got this little page flag that's going to go on here. And then I've got made with or with love. So we're going to put that up here. But I think before I put that down, I want a piece of fabric. So I'm going to look here. Probably about that big. Yeah, something like that. So I'm just going to put some dots of glue on the back side of this fabric. And then we'll glue this on top. And I've got another one of these flowers that we'll put right here. All right, so you're seeing how this is coming together. How we have decorated our page. We'll go back to, it's almost dry. It should be clear, so I'm going to wait just a little bit longer, and we're going to put some trim on that in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to the other side. And this is where I'm going to put this particular page, but I'm going to make pockets with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my scissors and come in here and just loosely fussy cut around. I'm not going to make it perfect. I'm just going to do it somewhat loosely all the way around. And something that I forgot to do first, which was to fold this in half, only because I want to know where the center is so that when I go to put it down onto this page, I get it lined up. All right, so now I'm going to fussy cut this side out. All right, so now I'm going to take some Distress ink and go across the edges. I've taken a book page, just in case it happens to be from a large family Bible, and I folded it in half and glued it together so that I could have a little bit sturdier paper. And the next thing I'm going to do is line this up along the edge here and glue it down. So I'll just put a little glue right along the edge and about 1/2 inch in, making a straight line. Then I'm going to line this up with the text. And I'm using my bone folder to help smooth out that glue. I'm going to let that dry for a moment and flip it around and do the same thing on this side. All right, so now what I want to do is rip this out. And it's better if the glue is dry. So I'm going to start up here. I just made a little snip, and then I'm going to use my fingers to guide down and just rip this out. And I'll use my scissors to trim off that edge. Like so. Now let's do it on this one. I'm going to take my distress ink and go along the edges of the book page. I've got a couple of strips of book pages, so what I want to do is make this pocket the full depth. So I'm just going to put some glue first underneath this area in case it didn't get glued all the way down. And then I'll put a bead of glue down the edge. And I usually cut about a 1 inch by the length of the book page. And we're going to lay that in the glue and then just kind of slide it up a little bit. And then I'll trim off the excess. And then we're going to take this piece on the side and do the same thing. The other side as well. And then I'm going to repeat this process on the other. So I've trimmed off the corners, and I'll let this dry for just a moment, and then we'll fold those tabs in. So while I'm waiting on those to dry, what I'm going to do is I'm folding my page in half, and I'm lining it up with this portion. So I just want to make sure I've got in the right spot. I'm just going to put some glue here and press this into place. All right, so I've got that all smoothed out and ready to go. So I'm going to fold in the edges. And now I'm going to glue those back basically where we took them off the page, and you can't really tell that I fussy cut it away from this page. You can still see the other elements underneath. I'll just repeat this on the other side. I'll go ahead and fold the page and make sure everything's working. Looks good. All right, so let's put some elements in the pocket, and we'll flip it back over and finish the card for the other side. I have the botanical rose. I think that's what it is. Botanical cabbage rose, botanical rose. And there's smudges on my card. I'm not going to worry about it. It's part of the junk journal process. So I'm going to ink this up, and we're going to stamp it on one side. I'm going to come off the page just a slight edge and then stamp. I like the way that looks. I've already done another one. So here's another page that I've done. Set this aside. And I did it so that this side can go over here. I'll make sure that it's going down inside my pocket all the way. And then I've got this, and apparently I got it wet because this is a digital download. So since I did that, let's try something. Let's see if I can fix that. So what I'm going to do, because I got a little smudge on it, is I'm just going to take this to my sewing machine and stitch across this real fast. We just kind of make do with what we got, right? All right, let's see what we've got in my flowers. I've got a little teal flower. I think that would look good on there. Grab a rhinestone. I'm going to put that right here. And I've got this one that'll go on this side. So we'll put the mason jar on top so that kind of sticks out just a little bit. Sure, I'm all the way in. Yep. And then this is from the kit, the subscription box that has the word search. I thought that would be really cute to go over here. Let's close this up. So we need to put some elements in the pocket there. I've shown this a few times where I take a piece of mop-up paper and I fold it to look like an envelope. So just fold this in at the top, fold it down, and then I fold it up just a little bit with a little bit of a gap. And I use one of the fussy cut elements from the kit to help close the tab. I used another fussy cut square. I overstamped it from the postal cube, I believe it is. And then this is from the postmark collage. I only stamped a portion of it. I want to add another saying up here. Do this out of the way. And we're going to stamp this right across the top. And I hope you like this one. It says enclosed advice. Isn't that kind of cute? I thought that would be cute on there. So we're going to put this in our pocket. Now let's finish up this little element. So I put that glue on there because trying to put down sequin trim can be difficult. So I put the glue down, and now I can just gently press the sequin strip right into that glue, and it will stay on my page. I've got the word that says fly, and I've got another scrap of fabric. So I'm just going to trim this just a little bit larger. And we're going to glue this down right here in the middle. The fly right in the middle. And then I have this new stamp. It's like a rose cluster. Rose something. I'm trying to remember what it was called. But I'm going to stamp it just below where the fabric ends. Because I just thought that gave it a nice little touch there. Don't you think? And then this is going to go inside this pocket. So there's our journal page. So we've got lots of collaged areas. So you have writing here and writing there. And then you have this whole area you can write. You can write on the inside of the envelope. And then you can write on this little notepad that I've put about 5 sheets of paper. You can write on the backer as well. And then when you flip this page over, you've got this area you can write in. You've got the mason jar you can write in. You've got the large journal cards you can write in. And then we've got over here. Do you like that freeze on my face? So here is the mop-up page that was created from the last page. And so now I'm going to take it and create the next page. So I've laid it out here. I've gone around the edge with distressed inks because the edges were kind of light colored. The glue that I used for the sequin was the best glue ever by Scrap Perfect. There are other glues out there, but what I like about this glue, so read this in the description of any glue that you're going to buy, is that you can lay a bead down or a dot, let it air dry till it's clear, and it stays tacky. Then you can stick things that won't necessarily stick to Aleene's tacky glue because it's a it's got what do you call it? It's acrylic, it's plastic in it, where this has some kind of a sticky agent that it'll stick to those sequins. It will stick to flat back rhinestones or gemstones. So that's why I like it. I don't use it very often. It's probably around $7 a bottle. I've had that bottle since I was a demonstrator for them. I've got 3 bottles. I think I've used up 1 bottle, so I've had 4 total, and I think I've had it for 3 years, so I don't use it very often. You're very welcome. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. All right, y'all get in on the raffle, and let me grab, where's the bag of goodies? That's what I was supposed to be doing during the break, is getting some goodies together, and I forgot, because I was scrambling around trying to work on a few things. Okay, that's kind of cute. Okay, let's do this and this. What else we got? I'm digging around. All right, that looks silly. Okay. Robin cleaned out, so I'm going to have some prizes here. All right, so 200 junk bucks. I'm a rhinestone cowboy. Are you, Austin? All right, so for 200 junk bucks, that winner is Connie Barch. Congratulations, Connie. All right, I'm going to restart the junk bucks that didn't get the whole junk bucks. Let's see, we've got happy birthday stickers and rhinestones. All right, so our next prize is a set of green rhinestones, Robin's favorite color. This looks like a envelope that maybe flatware came in because it's from Chili's. Here's some happy birthday stickers. And then we've got some fun food stickers. It says yum, french fries, pizza, watermelon, apple, pretzel, and that kind of stuff. So some fun stickers. Not a cowboy bone in my body, Austin says. Oh my goodness, plenty of rhinestones though. I can relate to that. I am a cowgirl, I guess you could say. Not as of late, but they used to call me the Coca-Cola cowgirl when I was growing up. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we've got the mop-up page that was made with the last page, and I've got the Bella Rose stamp. This is the small one. I'm going to ink it up with jet black archival ink, and I'm going to stamp all the way. I'm rotating the stamp every so often so that I don't get the exact same repeating look. And I'm okay that it's not perfect. I just want some printing or design going around the edge of the paper. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sherry, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I hope y'all like the journal that I'm working on today and that you're getting inspired to try some different techniques. You know, use the stencils to mop up and use your rubber stamps to add some more texture, and you're getting lots of neat layers, but you're not adding bulk really to your projects. All right, so I'm going to stamp down the middle and across the seam. I did fold my page in half so I know where the center is. And we'll go like that. So we're creating some writing space that we can use. So if you close this up, you can see the writing space there. All right, so let's add some embellishments on here. I made this ahead of time. I've showed this before where I sprayed a book page and I cut some 1-inch strips, and then I've used some of Norella's little printable words and put one of those in the center. So I'm just going to put that right here. Again, if y'all have questions, do feel free to ask. And if you could, give me a thumbs up on this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And what else? Yeah, when the video is over, why don't you go ahead and come back and leave me a comment down below. All right, so I've got a pre-made pocket. And just like in the last journal page, this is part of the book page that I used. So it was this size. And all I did was sprayed it with some Tattered Angels, stamped the Bella Rose, used a different shade of pink to kind of darken the roses, and then I used some green. I colored in a butterfly, so I've showed this already where I color in those medium butterflies, and then this was from my Martha Stewart punch. We're going to put that right here on this page, so we get that continuation of the roses, okay? Somebody won! Woohoo! Giovanna won some junk bucks! Alright, so I'm just adding Aleene's tacky glue. When I'm doing paper to paper, I use Aleene's tacky glue. If I'm using a plastic to paper, that's when I'll use the best glue ever. Alright, so I'm just going to glue this down across here. Alright, so in the last video, I made this little mop-up paper. So I've decided I'm going to turn it into an envelope look. So we just fold in the corners. I kind of looked on my grid, and when I lined it up, about 2 inches, came in just a little bit, and I noticed that there was a line. So I used the line as a guide. And then I've just gone around the edges with some Distress ink. Okay. I've got this little fussy cut circle from the kit. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue across the bottom here. And then glue this down. And that'll help close my envelope. Like that. And I've got enclosed in vice again. So we're going to stamp that. And try not to rock your stamp, especially when they're word stamps, because sometimes they have to be cut really close. And it's kind of hard not to get that shadow around there. But I did pretty good that time. All right, so that's this side. Now on this side, I wanted to add a little texture, and I found the Queen's Post, a little faux postage. It's a rubber stamp. So we're going to stamp that right here. And I have some Fiskars paper edgers that are the postage stamps. So I'm just going to cut this out. This was a scrap of book page that was on my desk. And I thought, well, that works out pretty good. It'll be, I can use it. I don't have to throw it away. Okay. So then I'm just going to go around the edges with some Distress ink. And then let's glue that right up there. Doesn't that look like a little postage stamp now? Alrighty. Like so. And then I've got one of the stamps from the Postal Cube. So you've got this postmark. So I'm just going to take this and stamp over the postage stamp to kind of give that look of a cancellation. But I want a faux address down here. So this is the Postscript collage. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to ink this portion up only. So I'm just putting it on my pad right here on this corner. And I turn it around this way because I only want this edge in here. So I can just kind of kiss it. And then that gives me that look like the address has been written on. Like that? Awesome! Someone says awesome! Thank you, Julie. All right, so we now have this little envelope. I'm going to put it right here. Okay. I have a journal card that I made. So I took the Enchanted Rose stencil and sprayed the teal rose through it onto some of the square watercolor paper, rounded the corners. I scrunched up a piece of fabric along the top, and I put down a little flower and gemstone. And I thought that would look really cute in there. I'm just kind of poking this up. Then I've got a little tag from the kit, so we'll put that right there. And then here's a larger journal card that I did the stencil again. I used one of the page tabs, another piece of fabric, and then I had these little fussy cut, or the Prima flowers, and I sewed around the edge. So we're going to stick that in this pocket. So it's got a nice layered effect there. You like that? I hope. All right, so now I've got another one of these ticket pieces that I want to put over here, but I want to put a saying on there. So, love is like a rose, the joy of all the earth, which is from Rossetti. So it's a new stamp in my shop. So I'm going to stamp that right in the middle here, like so. Grab a scrap of paper. I have the Shabby Stitches, the little zigzag stitch stamp. And so I'm going to stamp this across, kind of where the divots are. And then we're going to stamp across the other way. So I'll come across this way. And we'll come across this way. And if you stamp it crooked, if you do the stitches crooked too, it looks like it's on purpose. Okay. So this, I want to put on top of a piece of fabric. So here's a way to get that look of stitches, but we didn't actually stitch it. So I showed you another one that I made where I sewed with my sewing machine. Well, here is one made by using the Shabby Stitches stamp. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of pull this fabric, and it'll fray just a little bit so it doesn't look so perfect. Let's add some Distress inks to this piece and let's glue it together. Yeah, there's been lots of ice this morning. It was wet and drizzly this morning, and it was really slick. I went out to the gym early this morning and almost fell walking into the gym. All right, so I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put glue on the outside edge, down the middle. We're going to put that right here in the middle. Okay, and then let's glue that right down. And we'll put this over here. I've got some more flowers, so I stacked them up already. I've just done 2 flowers and a rhinestone, and we'll just glue that right here in the corner. Does anyone else layer with fabric scraps? I think it's so pretty to. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's pretty when you layer. Thanks, Tanya. Thank you. All right, we'll hold that down. Hold it down. Okay, so I have the single rose stamp, and I'm going to stamp it down here. So it kind of decorates our page all the way out. So when it's folded in half, this will be one side. You can see the rose here. And then this will be the other side. And now, you're so lost. Why are you lost? I just showed you how to make a page. Oh, yeah, you just entered the game. Just enter the game. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you see your name pull up, you entered the game and you won. So there. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. So on the other side of this page, I didn't think you needed to see me do it because you just saw how I fussy cut the edge and made a pocket. Well, I just did the same thing. This bird image was here. I fussy cut it out, used the paper behind, did the same over here. So I've got a little tuck spot. I've got some scraps of fabric here. This is the fabric you'll get in the Enchanted Rose kit. These are words from Calico Collage that I printed out. And then I made another little file folder notepad. I just what is this called? Stitching. I stitched. I sewed down the notepad, and then I took a little piece of fabric and I happened to have the word rose, and then I had a little flower in bling. And so that goes right there. And so there is another page made. Just moving right along. Okay. This page is more complicated. Getting all my goodies out. Okay, so we've made a mop-up page. We use stencils on a page. So now we're going to do some things with fussy cut elements. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Robin. And keep coming back on Mondays. We'll have live streams again. They're much better. Okay, so let's do this part first. I'm going to set this over here. Alrighty. Y'all probably going, what is this mess that you have? I took an envelope after watching a video by Angela Kerr. I can't get you the link for it. I just happened to see it because I was on Pinterest. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Robin, for your donation today. And so what I did was, after watching her video, I kind of took a look around of what elements I had, what I could use, etc. And I came up with this idea. So here's what I've got, is I've got a business envelope that happens to have a window in it, okay? And I've got some scraps of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at this, trying to remember now. Did I have this? Oh yeah, I had this all the way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece down, and I just used my scraps, okay? I did deliberately cut up one of the journal pages that had this kind of motif down the sides because I knew I could use it, and I made 2 little envelopes. This is about a, what is this, I think it's a 6-inch envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. So it's a big envelope. And I'm just going to come over here, and I'm letting this overlap just a little bit. My goal is to just cover up the white part of the envelope. So I've got this piece that's going to go here. So I've already gone around the edges with distressed ink, and we're going to glue this down. So basically what Angela showed was just taking your scraps and covering up basically the white portion of the envelope. You could also coffee dye the envelope, which would give it a whole nother look as well. All right, so then I've got this little piece that's going to go here across the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Yeah, use these junk mail envelopes. Use them. Put them into a project. Cover them up. So I'm just putting that across there. Okay. This piece is going to go over here. You kind of see how we're building a little puzzle. And then this piece is going to go across the top here. So I'm not real worried about what goes up there. So I'm going to glue this piece down. Glue it down. I love the Enchanted Rose kit that this time Norella made several what I call just simple pages, collage pages. I don't know, they're like this one with that looks like a toll all over it. I really liked the way that looked, and I wanted more of those because sometimes you want to layer and not just make that your background page. So I kind of like how that with the butterflies in there turned out. All right, so I've gone around and distress edged this piece, and I'm just looking at it, and I think that's about where I want it. So what I'm going to do is lay it down and use my pencil, and I'm going to cut this piece off. I'll use it somewhere else, some other project, who knows. We'll add some distressing. So right now I'm just working on the front side. Thank you, Margarita, for your donation. Thank you, thank you. By the way, if you have prizes coming to you, I'll be mailing a few tomorrow, but the bulk of them will be mailed out on the 15th of the month. So if you are a prize winner and you're waiting on your prize, it'll be shipped out around the 15th. If you have an order, I will be placing it inside your order. Okay, so we just put some glue on there. And now we're just going to lay this down. Okay. See what we're doing? All right, so then this piece I want to put across here, but I think I want to stop right at this edge. So I'm just going to kind of come back and fold it on itself. Yahoo! Giovanna, one more. You like this, Sandra? Thank you so much. All right, so I'm just going to trim this piece. We'll save this. We may use it somewhere else. I'll go ahead and apply some distress ink on this edge. Okay, so that's going to go right there. So we're covering up the white ugly envelope. You could also use your gel print pages, your mop-up pages, book pages. I just decided to use the kit because I had these pages printed. And I thought, why not use it up? Okay, so you like that? We're not quite done with this side. This piece is going in the window here, okay? It's going in there. And I have Love is Like a Rose that I want to stamp in there. So I'm going to stamp this. Kind of looking at it. All right, I want to stamp it where it's kind of up this way. And then we're going to glue this down inside the envelope. So I'm just going to make sure I've got a nice amount of glue. And if you use it's a special letter opener. This is what I use to open my letters. And when you do that, you'll have this nice clean edge on the top. So I'm just going to slide this down in here. I'm keeping the envelope kind of propped open. And then kind of smush that down. Thank you, Janice. Thank you so very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, so you can see I put it right behind the window there. So we have this that we can open up if you didn't glue it shut by accident. So don't touch the glue to the envelope. You see that? All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got another element I want to put here, but in just a moment, I'm going to flip this over because I need to decorate this portion of the page. I don't need to worry about this side, so I'm just going to do this side. And I just cut a piece of paper to fit, and I'm just going to glue this in place. You try to save envelopes? You never thought of overhanging designs on the window? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, Angela showed it in her video, and I was like, oh yeah, what images do I have that I can do this with? And since I printed on copy weight, text weight paper, it's thin enough that you don't end up adding too much bulk to the envelope. You got just enough. I don't know where my bone folder went, so sometimes you just use whatever tool is on your desk. All right, so I need to measure this and score it so that I can fold it. So what I'm going to do is put it on my paper cutter here, and we're going to score it at about 5 1/4 inches. Why? Because it's going to wrap around. I don't know what happened to my scoring tool. We're going to wrap around the journal page, and we don't want it to interfere with closing that journal page. So I'm just going to come in here and score it gently. Okay, so that's where my score mark is. And then I'll fold this over. Okay, I'll go ahead real quickly and kind of go around the edge in case there's anything that's kind of showing through. Now, if you want, you can punch a little hole here so you can get to the stuff inside. I'm going to leave it. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is flip this back over, and I want to put a pocket here. So I have a little scrap of paper that is almost, it's right at the size there. I think that'll work. And I want to change the color just a little bit on it. So I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide picked raspberry, and we're going to go around the edge. Yeah, I don't get a lot of junk mail either. This is some of what Henry will get bill-wise, and I'll have him save it for a couple of weeks and I'll go through it and throw out what I don't like. Okay, so there's this piece, and this is from the kit. So I'm just going to layer that on top. All right, so I need this pocket that I'm going to put on here to be the full width. So I'm going to grab my scraps of book pages that I have laying around here. And I'm going to glue one right across the bottom. Kind of touch it into the glue and slide it up. That way I can make little tabs on this pocket and be able to use the full width and depth of the pocket. This is great if you just got a scrap of paper and you can't make tabs out of it. Well, just glue some scraps of book paper on. I use a 1-inch strip. Yeah, she's not as junky as the rest of us. She just got rid of a bunch of junk. She was cleaning out her space. I said, I'm going to have her come do mine next. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this off. I'm going to cut this at an angle. Kind of cut that a little bit. All right, so you see how we've got a little... It's got wings. It's got wings. But wait, there's more. All right, so this piece is going to go on here as a pocket. I'm just waiting for the glue to dry. So while I'm waiting on the glue to dry, I've got another piece from the kit, which reminds me I need to see something. Did I use... Okay, now I made pockets out of this too, so I'm going to use my same strips and go right down the edge. Add a strip to this. Put this tool back. Put this tool back. Put too many tools out. Come on. Go back in there. It's odd shaped, so it didn't want to go. You still have tons of stuff, she says. She's not in danger of running out. All right, so we put that on there. So now we're going to this side. I thought I had already done this. I'd done it on so many other things. Okay. I've been working on the monochrome junk journal. It's almost complete. Robin has been editing or writing the blog posts that go with it. I've so far have 4 videos. I think it's 4, maybe 5 videos that I've condensed down, trying to make them shorter so they don't seem to take as much time from everybody. And I've got to do a couple of more pages, I think. I don't remember. I've got to get them all out once I have all the videos edited. And then I'm going to make a special fabric cover, and I'll have a tutorial for that as well. So be on the lookout for that really soon. All right, I noticed that this is torn here. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper. And I'll put a little bit of glue on both sides. And I'm going to slide this down in. Because I didn't want it on the outside. I didn't want the book page. If I had noticed that before I had glued the outer portion, I could have glued it on the outside. So now that should just glue right. Oh, I just noticed the tab. Okay, this portion needs to be glued down. Sometimes you got to glue the envelope back together. All right, so now I've got this. See how that's closed off now? Ah, thank you, Robin. I hope y'all like it when you see it. All right, so this piece is going to go right here. So I'm going to glue that down. Yeah, the links aren't working right now because my website is down. So she's just sharing the links that when my internet's back working, those will still be available in the chat. So you can re-watch this video and see all the links again. I haven't heard from my web guy yet. I'm hoping that it'll be fixed soon. I'm guessing since I haven't heard from him, it's the whole server, not just my website. Or he's just busy and doesn't want to talk to me. All right, so this is going to go right here in the corner. So I'll fold this back. And then we'll fold this back. And that's going to go right here. All right, so we're going to glue this down. Right across there. And I had this little piece left over from earlier. So I think what I'll do is glue it right there. It'll just kind of give another little pattern across there. And we may get off here early today. I hope. We'll see how it goes here. I like that. Then we've got this side. Okay, so I need to add some more embellishments here. So let me pull out all my little embellishments. What am I missing? I'm missing a word. Where's the word? I don't see it. Alrighty. Gotta dig in the pile of leftover bits. Well, I've got this one. We'll just do this. This is figure 81. We'll put that right there. Put that like this, okay? So here is my little envelope piece. I haven't put the journal cards in it yet, but hopefully you can see how it's going to go together. So it wraps around the page like this, and then you can flip it out and you'll have a place here, and then on this side it'll be glued down and be a tuck spot. So I'm going to go ahead and place another strip of book page across the bottom so it gives me the full height of this as a pocket. Now you can glue it completely down if you so choose, because it has the opening at the top that could be a pocket, so you don't have to have the tuck spot behind. But if you like that look of having all these layers, well, you've got that option. All right, so I'm just going to cut this at an angle and cut this one at an angle. All right, so let's see here. Let me look at what I've got. Okay. So I'm just letting that dry over here to the side. So on this page, I want to decorate. This was a mop-up page. This is where I had laid down the long pieces of paper and sprayed with the stencil. And then I just used the Stitches stamp set and went around the edges there. And then on this side, it was because I sprayed the polka dot stencil and I used this as a mop-up. So I went ahead and stamped on the inside. So I'm going to fold this back. Only because I've used this another time. Ah! Stamps hit the floor. I used this another time and I just like the way it looks, and you can see it kind of peeking out throughout the whole journal, and that is the Bella Rose stamp. So I'm going to stamp all the way around the edge here. So from right about there. Ink it up and stamp it. Ink it up and stamp it. Ink it up and stamp it all around. It's kind of like she'll be coming around the mountain when she stamps. All right. So I just kind of stamped around there because when I put down this piece, we wrap it around, then we've got this pattern portion around the edge. So this will be glued down, but you can put stuff behind it. Okay? Making sure where else I need to be. Okay, that's going to go here. All right. So since I've got this flat, I'm going to go ahead and grab another stamp. So this is, it hasn't been added to, oh wait, I think I did get this added this morning before my website went down again. So this is Enchanting. So we're going to stamp it. Well, I got it pretty straight. Right here across the top. Like that. And then I have, uh-oh, where'd it go? Where's my little piece of paper? I had a book page. Here it is. Got a little book page that's been sprayed. This one doesn't have the text on it. It's just the edge. But I'll go ahead and just apply some distress inks around the edges. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you so very much. Ah, your way crafting, you won. You won. Whoop, whoop. You won 60 junk bucks. All right, so this is going to go over here. And that's going to come down the edge. What do you think? Like I care what you think. Just tell me you love it. All right, it's time for me to do the raffle. So if you haven't already, join the raffle. I'm going to lay this right here. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down first because we just announced that it's time for the raffle, and then I've got to pick a prize so you have time. All right, so I just took a book page and sprayed it with the teal Tattered Angels, stamped it with the Bella Rose stamp. This is one of the faux postage that comes in the Enchanted Rose kit. I stitched around the outside edge, and I added distress inks, and then I've made it into a corner tuck. So I'm just going to glue this down here in the corner. So that can be drying right there. You can look at this. Do I need to stamp anymore? Okay, no more stamping. So we can glue this side on. So I'm lining this up with the edge. And I'm going to put glue. Ah, don't move on me. We're going to put glue on this little tab. And I'm going to put glue on top of this page, not over the edge, on top. So I'm just going to put glue right up this edge. I'm going to butt this in there really tight, make sure it's fitting, and then press this into place. I'm going to go ahead and unfold this because my prototype one, I didn't unfold it and it kind of stuck because the glue seeped out. I'm going to grab a rubber stamp and lay that on top for a moment. And then we're going to pick the winner. You love the page with all the roses? Thank you, Giselle. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Vicky, welcome. All righty. Let's pick another prize. She's got more goodies in here. What else do we have? We got some fibers. We got some random bits. Oh, some more of those little envelope thingies. Oh, here we go. We got a bunch of random things. All right. So the next winner, let me get this on here so it doesn't come unraveled. Okay. The winner of these stickers, the birthday stickers and gemstones. Yeah, Robin gets a subscription box when everybody else does. She's been helping me put it together. Can't wait, Laura. Yay! I'm glad you can't wait. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so the winner of all the stickers and goodies is Vicky. Very blessed of God. Congratulations, Vicky. All right, so the next person, I've just got a bunch of random bits here. So what do we have here? We have some reset. We have some burlap, cord, markers, and bags. That's what we're going to call this. All right, so we've got a couple of these little bags again. Piece of burlap lace. This is a random to from little label. It might be a sticker. I can't tell. This kind of feels like it's glued together or something. We've got some cord. So this is like some natural hemp cord. And then these are page markers. They're little critters. I don't know if you can see the little critters' faces, like a little fox. So we got all these little goodies. This is from Robin. We're cleaning out her stash, passing along. Okay, let's move this out of the way. So now this should be able to wrap around the page. Use my okay, so there's our page. Now remember, this is a tuck spot up here. So I took about 2-inch, it's almost 2, yeah, it's 2-inch by 6-inch strip of cardstock that's craft color. I stamped the Bella Rose at the top, put down one of the labels. I used my crocodile punch, punched a hole, and then tied a piece of fabric in it. So that's going to go right there. I have this really tall card that comes in the kit, so that's going to go back in the back. Okay. Making sure this all fits. So you've got nice little layers there. Oh, I've got something to go up here, so let me move this out of the way first. And I've got this little label, so I'm going to put it down right up there. Well, congratulations, Vicky, on winning. All right, so we're going to put that somewhat in the middle. And then I have the word elusive. It's from the kit. So that's going to go right here. And there's a little fussy cut butterfly I'm going to put right there. I was getting ahead of myself. All right, so that's going to go right there. So now we put this behind. This goes in the pocket. Then I have, where'd it go? There it is. I have the bingo card, a little tag, this little tag, and this is a little square one. And they should all fit, in theory, if I didn't glue it shut, which it looks like I did. Come on now. All right. Fit down inside, please. So I added all these extras because when I was flipping the page over, these were falling out. So I made a little altered paper clip. So this is one of the little faux postage that comes in the kit. You got, oh, you got up late, Margie. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Julie. I stitched around it. I just used an artist trading card size piece of paper, folded it in half, rubber stamped the French script over the top of the page, add some distress inks, put down the digital image, stitched around it, then put the paper clip in and folded in half with some glue. So then this can go right here, and it keeps everything in that little tuck spot pocket because it was a little loose. Over here, I have an envelope that comes in the kit. Some people say that some of the things they wanted with this kit was some envelopes. So here's a little square envelope, and I used one of the round pieces. I cut down one of the 3x3 cards, and I used that same little rose cluster in the corners. I just thought that just turned out so cute on that one. So we'll just tab there, and then this can go right there. So let's flip this over to this side. Okay. Make sure I got all my elements. So I have this little piece. Oh, thank you so much, Sherry, for your donation. Oh, thank you, Margie, for your donation. And Janice, Margarita, Tanya, Sherry again, and Robin. All right, so this is going to go up here at the top. So I'm just going to glue it down. Crossed here. I have this little 1782 that I'm going to put down here in the corner. That's going to go like this. Then I have another little rose motif. I think we'll put it on this side. Yeah, we'll put it on this side. But I want a piece of fabric. So I think it needs a little piece of fabric. So what if we put a little piece? Yeah. So I'm just going to fray the fabric just a little bit by pulling the ends. All right. And then we'll glue this down. So I'll just put a few drops like that. And lay this out. Oh, come on now. Don't stick to my finger. Stick to the page. Lay that flat. Thank you, Janice. You love the altar paper clips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for your support. Thank you, thank you. You stink at altar paper clips? Why? They're so easy. What is the problem? You get too frustrated with the paperclip part. Well, maybe we need to discuss that further and find out what your malfunction is. All right, so we're going to lay this kind of coming over that fabric piece. All righty. So we've got this tall, skinny card that we can put in here if we want. And let's see, I've got another. Do I have another tall card? I've got a taller. This one's a little bit bigger, but I think I like this one better. It's got the birdie on it. So we kind of make it look like the birdie's peeking through. And then on this side, I've got this little postcard piece that we can put over here. Like that. Making sure I've got all the pieces. Yep, got them all. All right, so that's going to go like this. You like it? So we got this tuck spot here. Oh, I didn't get enough glue on this little tab. Lots of layers. This one's bulky. And then this page that flips out. So you got writing space here. You can write here on this, on the journal card. And then you have space inside here because you've got a couple of journal cards down inside. So you can see, love is like a rose, the joy of all the earth. I do want to do this window pocket for your next journal. Isn't that fun? Alrighty. So now, here's another one that I made earlier. Same concept. I just had a different size window. Did the same. Oh, the last time I stamped around the edge. I didn't do on this one. Oh, well. And it was just a different mop-up page. But I did the same concept. Just used some different journal cards on this one. Different butterfly. Same little journal card there. And these are the same. Same little envelope over here, which apparently is now stuck. Don't stick. There it goes. Alrighty. So, I guess what I'm going to do now is I want to work on this cover for a moment, just so I can show you a different technique. So I want to tie on this, and the only way I know to really make a good tie is to either sew it down or to put a grommet or a hole and reinforce it and make a tie that pull through that. So what we're going to do today is I've got a piece of book page here, cardstock, not a book page, cardstock. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use this as a guide. So I'm going to punch a hole kind of in the center with my large crocodile hole punch. And I'm just using this other circles that I cut earlier as a guide, just so I can kind of eyeball how far up I need to go from the edge of the page. Okay, so you see what I've got so far? And then I've got a little tiny hole punch here, and I will move the thing out of the way so I can see it. And I'm going to line this up and try to get it as much in the center as I possibly can and punch that out. So I have a little page reinforcer. You love the window pocket? Thank you, Janice. Thank you, thank you. What's Henry saying? I don't see Henry. Oh, wait. If it wasn't for malfunctions, I wouldn't function at all. Yeah, that's true for Henry. All right, so I'm just going to center it and punch a hole. Oh, stay right there. Center it. Punch a hole. Center it. Punch a hole. All right, so you see what I did there? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, and this will be the center. So I'm going to use this as a guide, and I'll make a pencil mark. So I'll put a little pencil mark right there. So that's the center. And I'm going to pinch through my cover on both front and back. Okay? You with me so far? We just punched a bunch of holes. We're punching holes. All right, so now I'm going to just go around the edge with some distress ink. This is where you could use some chipboard scraps if you want it super thick. You can use coffee dyed papers, but you want thicker papers, not thin text weight. You want some cardstock at least weight. So now I've just gone around the edges of these little hole reinforcers. And now what I'm going to do is glue these down. I couldn't find my eyelets. So I thought, well, I might as well show everybody how to do this, because if you don't have eyelets either, and you don't have hole reinforcers, because you can buy these, but here's how you can make your own. You love making these closure? Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down right here. the, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna put this right there. All right, so see how we just put hole reinforcers on there? So now what I need is some fabric. I have a little bit left. So I'm going to take the width of fabric where the salvage is and cut about a 1-inch strip and tear. Like so. And then I'll cut off this white part. And then I'll fold this in half. And let's cut this in half. And now I can take this portion. So I'm going to grab a scrap of thread. It's wax linen thread, and I'm going to pull it through my hole. So I'll use this to pull this up because it's kind of bulky. But I'm going to do it gently, and I don't want to pull it too far because it's kind of hard to get these tight, and I don't want the paper to rip at all. So I'm just going to feed this back through. Thank you, Giovanna, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So we've got this little loop here. So I'm just going to gently pull the fabric back through that grommet page reinforcer and just kind of tighten this up a little at a time until it gets the way I want. Okay. And then we're going to do the back the same way. You're very welcome. So put the thread. This is wax linen thread, just a scrap I had left over on my desk. Just going to poke this up through the hole. And again, I'm not going to pull it too far, but just far enough so that I can pull the fabric through itself. Pushing the sewing loom out of the way. All right, so we're pulling that back down. All right, so then we're going to have this on the edge, so we can just pull this through. Make a little bow. Of course, I can make it neater, but there's your little tie closure, okay? Or you can just leave it kind of a messy knot. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the journal pages that I made off camera. And we're going to put this journal together. Okay, so I'm just getting a few things out of the way. So this is one journal cover that I made. I used one of Norella's fussy cut words. I used a piece of fabric and I used a little flower. That was the butterfly, and this was part of the planner kit. This is a journal cover from the planner kit. This is that same fussy cut image that I used on the envelope, so you can kind of see what it looks like on your page. When you're going through your kits, you could kind of get an idea. If it's coming down from the top like this, you could use it to hang over the top of a window. Then I made, where'd it go? Here it is. This journal cover. So this is one of the journal pages, and I used one of the fussy cut elements and went around behind it with some of the fabric, and I had a bunch of my little prima flowers, and I used the same inside and the same concept with the grommets. Set this over here. Thank you, Carrie, for your donation, and hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to clean my hands real fast. I've got some glue on them. All right. Cleaning up my hands. My desk is a mess. Oh my goodness, it's a mess. Okay, so prior to the live stream, I happened to find this, I found these, I guess it's letterhead paper, computer paper that I found. And what I did was I laid it out and I put down my stencil. Thank you, Laura, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I laid down my stencil from the Enchanted Rose kit, and I used the vanilla rose and just a couple of squirts of the Enchanted Rose, not a lot, just enough to just kind of tint it a little pink, but not super dark. And then I used a piece of fabric, and I used one of the tickets and a little flower over here. I used a butterfly that I fussy cut and inked up with Tattered Angels. Oops, it fell out. And then this is another one of the tickets on this side and a journal card. And I just put a ticket there. So I made a couple of those pages. When I had this with the stencil, I did a mop-up page. And I laid out like this and smooshed it over a piece of onion skin paper. And I don't know if you can see that pattern. It's just a beautiful pink pearlescent color. And I decided I'm not going to add anything else to it. I think it looks good just the way that it is. So I've got a couple of those pages. We're good enough to make 2 journals today. This is one of the planner pages, and I added from the fussy cut elements and a rubber stamp on this side. Hi, Rhonda. And then this side, I add some more of the labels, a book page that I had sprayed with Tattered Angels with the December Stencil Club. I think that's right. One of the fussy cut elements. And then I made this little layer of flags on the page and used one of the fussy cut words. And then this is just one of the background pages that come in the kit. I like the way that turned out. Here's one of the printed kit pages. That's the same stencil design that was used here. You can see the difference with the little dots. And then on this side is another printed page. I kind of like that, so I think that might be my first page in the journal. So I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to line these all out. This is some of the planner pages from the kit. So I showed you that first journal page where I kind of collaged different pieces of paper over the book page. And this is where I got my inspiration, was looking at what Norella did. I thought I would just kind of make my own version. And then this side are the days of the week. And we've got some more days of the week. I'm starting to think, okay, that one's just printed. All right. And so then we have another journal page that is planner page. So you've got that page. And then this side. Uh-oh, where did this go? Ah, there it is. I was like, one of my journal cards fell out. Okay. We showed you this page. I really like how that one turned out. That might be my center. I can't decide if I want that for the center of the journal or if I want that for the center of the journal. I'm thinking this one. I think that's going to be my center. So we're going to put this pile. Yeah, I want that like this. Where's the other one? Yeah. So I'm going to reverse this page back. That's one thing you can do when you make your pages. You can fold them back the other way. Love the shiny pages. All right, so I'm going to put that as my last page. This is where I used my coffee dyed paper that had the stencils laid on top of it to dry. I used one of the corner pieces. I think this is from the planner kit. I made a little journal card that I stamped down the edge and then used some of the fussy cut elements on there. Today is that tomorrow you dreamt about. Make it a yesterday worth remembering. I think it's called Worth Remembering is the stamp name. I made this top corner tuck, but sometimes whenever I have these top corner tucks, things fall out. So I took a piece of fabric and just tied it over my paper clip so that this could go right there and hold it into place. Okay. On this side, I said if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. I just stamped it on a scrap of paper, put a scrap of fabric behind, and one of the fussy cut butterflies. Fussy cut butterflies from the kit, and this is a little label from the kit. And I like the way that turned out. Here is the other one. Just used different images, but the same concept. Okay. Put that there, maybe like that. So this is a page that we made at the beginning that has lots of layers. So maybe I'll put that one right here. And I think I want to put this one there. And let's put this one kind of in the middle. So we have smooth, bulky, kind of alternating back and forth. And I'm thinking maybe the onion skin paper would be good because that will go right here next to that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then here's the page that I did with the mop-up papers, all the layers. And then this side, I just fussy cut the elements in the corner and backed it with book pages. So this one will go right here. All right, so I'm just kind of looking at how I've got this laid out to see if I want to make any changes. Ah, thank you so much, Lori, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Janice. Thank you so much. Beehive. Oh, you found it. Yay. You found it. Yeah, I'm so glad you found your beehive stencil. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just grab a journal cover, and then I'm going to pick up journal pages, and we're going to start binding this journal together. So if you want a chance, after you've seen all of the pages, to win one of these journals, make a donation. Oh, thank you so much. She wants me to make sure I give away 2 of them. If you want a chance to win one of these journals, just make a donation of any dollar amount, and we will draw it here in just a moment. I'll draw the winner of the giveaway items. This is the last giveaway of freebie items. And then I will start the giveaway of the journals once I have it bound when we go to flip through to see what it looks like. I think I'm going to switch order here. Yeah. I wanted another smooth page, so just kind of changed my prerogative. There's such variety in this journal. I hope you like seeing how to use all different kinds of things together to make a journal page. Oh, she needs the URL for donating, Eric says. Give her the Streamlabs. There it is. Junkie Joe just shared it. Oh, no, that's the subscription box. Never mind. You can click on the $ too, but if you use the Streamlabs, I get more of the money. The $ here on YouTube, they take 30% of the donation. But if you go to my Streamlabs, I get all but like 3%. I think they don't charge me as much for processing. Okay. Thank you, Your Way Crafting. Thank you so very much. You know, remember that when I show you these, I have pre-planned it all out. So yes, I was able to make this journal in a couple of hours, but I really had several hours of planning ahead of time so that I wasn't sitting here hemming and hawing and trying to figure out what I'm going to make. Yes, when you make a journal on your own, you'll probably take more than a couple of hours to get one made. Don't feel discouraged. Oh, thank you, Eric, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Fluffy journal. All right, so I'm just going to lay this down for a second, and then I'm going to grab from my junk journal tools. Get all my tools out. Got a needle. Got my template. Need my giant paper clips. So I'm going to do a pamphlet stitch to close my journal together. So I'm just going to put giant paper clips on here. I want to make sure that these are all nested down together. All my pages are 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. And it seems like the front half is thicker than the back half. So in my case, my back half is bigger than my front half. Yours comes out through PayPal. Yep. You like chunky journals? Yep, yep. All right, so now I'm going to punch 3 holes down in the V. You want to V up your page. You can use a bookbinder's cradle if you want. I don't always get it out. It takes up so much room on my desk when I'm doing a live stream. Okay, close that up. Let's get 3 times the height of our journal in wax linen thread. So 1, 2, and 3. Wait, I don't want to cut it yet. I want to cut it now. That way it gives me a little bit more leeway. And then I'm going to thread up. I have these bookbinder's needles in my shop when my shop is working. They're 2 for $5. You like them fluffy? Most definitely. It's your money. You can spend it however you want to, Margie. I'll let you. Thank you so much for supporting me, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, that you are inspired to create. Oh, my paper clip fell off. Let's see if I can put it back together. I may have to go this way just because it's very fluffy. Okay. Just like this. Oh, I missed the hole. Dang it. Well, it's already done. It's too late. Let's see if we can, because it shifted on me. There we go. Ah, I got you, Carrie. I understand. Yeah, the height of your journal. From top to bottom, Julie. Not the width, the height. Oops. The needle fell off. All right, so we're going to tighten this up. I want to make sure it's tight on the outside, tight on the inside, and then we'll tie this into a square knot. Somebody calls it surgeon's knot. I'll leave this somewhat long. I do have some charms here, so if I have enough time, I may put some charms on, but we're going to do the other journal real fast. Can't see for a reason. Okay, there we go. All right, then we'll take the paper clips off. Set this aside. Grab this journal. That's you remembering wrong. Thank you, Amanda Dawn. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to do this. We had enough for both journals today. Thank you. Thank you, Lori, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to V this up. like so. Don't pop off, paper clip. Stay. It is a chunky journal. All right, we'll put this back in here. Put this back in there. Thank you, Amanda Dawn, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It worked today. Yay! Sometimes it's just cranky computers. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle. Come around to the outside. Hold your tail. You don't want your tail to get away, so hang on to it. All right, so then we're going to go up here. All right, slip this under here. All right, making sure this is tight. Now we're going to tie this off. It's official. We will have 2 journals given away today. Thank you, everybody, for your donation. Thank you for supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's put our paper clips away. And I'm going to grab, I've got some, I've got a heart. Let's do the rose and maybe this little pink heart. That's what we'll do. Okay. So I've got one of the little gold charm roses that you get in the kit. And I'm just going to take this and just tie a little knot up here. And I'll cut off the excess. Like pulling the knot to make sure I got it really well tied. And cut off the excess so that will dangle down here in the middle. And then I've got this little bitty puff heart. It's a little enamel heart. All right. Yeah, hold your tail. I have my cat's tail in my hand. How long do I have to hold it? Well, if you hold that cat's tail for very long, I have a feeling it might get a little cranky and get you, swipe at you, or turn around and bite you. So you might ought to let go. You don't have to have a live stream account per se. You don't pay for an account. It's free. There's a way to go through it. My website's not down, or I could show you the tutorial on how to set up for a donation. All right, so there is, you see the little charms? All right, let's do this one. Let's do the gold one again. So I put the silver one away and we'll put the gold one on here. Yeah, it's free service. Yeah, Facebook, you can connect it with another social media. Oh, you thought I said something else? Oh, yeah. So you're okay. He's asleep right now, so you don't have to worry about him getting you. Fluffy and chunky. That could be a lot of things. That could be a cat, a journal, me. Facebook wouldn't let you. It was being cranky. Thank you, Margarita, for your donation. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to tie a knot in the thread. I think I made this one shorter. I wanted the little heart to be up higher than the rose. All righty. Okay. I'm going to flip it to the back. I'm going to grab my pen. If I can find the one I like. That's not the one I like. That's not the one I like. Here it is. I've got a little Sharpie. You love the stamp around the page edge. Well, thank you, Lori. All right, so I'm going to sign it going up this corner in case you want to put a pocket here. Okay, and we'll do this one. All right, is everybody in the free raffle right now? It's time. And I will pick the winner that gets some of these goodies that are from Robin. I'll go ahead and tie this shut just so you can see what it looks like with it tied shut. Just take my time, kind of make it pretty. Little pretty bow. See there? Okay. Extra stuff coming out the top. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Margie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You need one of those pokey tools? That is the Tim Holtz Craft Pick. That's the Tim Holtz Tonic Studio Craft Pick. And I like it because it's retractable. And it's the perfect size for the needles that I use. All right, I think everybody's in the raffle for, let me get the goodies back down. All right, we're going to give away these little paper bags, this piece of burlap, a little 2 front tags, some cord, and some page markers right now. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you so much, Your Way Crafting. Thank you. All right, hey, Jennifer, welcome. Hey, Barb, I didn't even see you here. All right, so we're going to pick a winner of the goodies, and that winner is... Oh, Rhonda Bennett, you won some goodies. Like you need more junk, right? Oops, I almost lost one of the pieces. I'm going to put that in your box, Rhonda. All right, so the next raffle is only for those who've donated. The following people have donated: Margarita, Vicky, Manda, Lori, Eric, Margie, Lori again, Laura, Carrie, or Paper Puddles, Giovanna, Barb, Sherry, Margie again, Janice, Margarita again, Tanya, Sherry again, and Robin Finnessy. All right, so we're going to start the next raffle here in just a moment. It's going to say for donators only. One Enchanted Rose Planner Junk Journal. It's a long title. Donators only. I don't know if I run out of space. All right, open giveaway. All right, it's a free-for-all. Join the raffle if you've donated today. I'm going to get a drink of water. We're going to flip through this and we'll pick a winner. Woohoo! All right, so we're going to have 2 journals here. We have one that has the pink ruffle. We're going to say pink ruffle. So if your name is called when I do the raffle, tell me, do you want the one with the pink ruffle or if you want the flat journal? Okay. So we use the page reinforcers that we made and put a tie on the front with some fabric. This is the same fabric that comes in the subscription box. And I used a cardstock that I printed with one of the journal pages. I just liked the way that looked when I layered it on there. This is the inside, so you can put a pocket or whatnot in here. This is one of the printed pages from the kit. We made a little stenciled page. This is coffee dyed paper, and I stenciled it with the February Artistic Stencil Club. Overstamped on a book page and used one of the fussy cut elements. And then using the Baroque stencil, I made that background. And then we're putting it into one of these little envelopes or file, or what do you call those? Baggies. This is one of the chipboard laser cut elements that is down here. We rubber stamped if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies, and I stamped a couple of butterflies. And then we've got another butterfly over on this side. This is one of the planner pages that comes in one of the 3 kits. The subscription kit, you can get it in the planner kit, and you can get the large journal kit. You can get all 3 of them for $24.99 in my shop. Then we made this wraparound using an old envelope that opens up. So you have this side where I stamped, and then here I added a little journal card. I had a little leftover piece that I put there. Fold this back. You can open this up and take out the journal cards, and you see love is like a rose, the joy of all the earth. And it says Rossetti. And these are a couple of the cards that are part of the kit that you can get. Then we're going to flip this over. Over here, we overstamped onto the page that had some polka dots. This is from the subscription box. It's a little word search that goes back here. This is a little bookmark that I made out of a scrap and rubber stamp and an image from the kit. Open this back up. So there's an opening here, and then you can also go behind. On front here is a little pocket, and I ended up putting the little fussy cut down this side. And we have the bingo card, and we have a couple of tags, and then this little image. And I just stack them all on top of each other. And to help keep them in place, I have this little altered paper clip. So that kind of keeps it from falling out. I didn't put anything on the onion skin paper just because I thought it was so pretty, and it kind of gives you a smooth buffer between this and the next page. This is a planner page. I rubber stamped from the Curly Swirly stamp set. And then this is one of the little fussy cut elements. You love the wraparound, Robin. Thank you. You love that word Baroque. Love the wraparound. Thank you so much, Janice. Another label and one of the Curly Swirly. And this is a scrap of paper. And I did stamp the Curly Swirly across the top. And then use the fussy cut image here. This page was our mop-up page that was made, and I had the pocket made ahead of time. I stamped around the outside edge, used the fussy cut words from Calico Collage. I made this journal card by stamping the large Bella Rose stamp in the corner, used one of the page tabs, a little piece of fabric, and flowers. I stitched around the outside edge. The pocket, I used a book page, and the little toppers here are some cardstock that I happen to have. Made a little faux envelope. Uh-oh, I got it stuck again. I hate it when I do that. I try not to stick it in there. Well, this one ripped. Man! Well, it ripped. I guess I glued it all the way down in. I usually remember to pull it up, but I forgot. So this one's got a bite out of it. It says enclosed in vice. And then on this side, we made a little photo postage stamp. Use the address and postmark collage. And then here's a little tag that I made as well. Just kind of layered that up. Love the big journaling card. Thanks, Vicki. Here I used some of those tear-off notepad angels on my desk, and so it got a dot, so it happens. Another large journal card here. This is a coffee-dyed paper in the background where I left the stencil on the coffee paper while it dried overnight. Easy to fix, exactly. I meant to do that, Julie. It was on purpose. Another piece of fabric. If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies again. Another one of the planner pages. We've got a large journaling card here. This one I left plain, so you could add your own touches to that. This is the word search, and I just wondered, oh yeah, I had this in here twice, so I'm going to change this around. Okay, so if we go here, right? Yeah. I'm looking at my journal here. Okay, where is it? Am I in the center? That's the center. Where is it? Why can't I find it? Okay, that's just weird. Why don't I see the other side? That one goes here. Oh, this is fine. Okay, so I'm going to swap this out. Wrong card. Because it's the same in the journal already, and I don't need the same thing. All right, so we'll put that like that. And then here's the center of our journal. Another one of the envelopes. This one I didn't glue shut. You love that super large? Finished the coffee dyeing and used up all the coffee. No, Julie, you're supposed to use old coffee grounds. Okay, this is a little notepad. There's where I use the sequin trim. And we have another large journal stamp. This is the botanical rose. I always have to think about it. And here's where I had that boo-boo, so I just put a piece of fabric over the top of it. Don't leave a wet paintbrush on your desk when you have inkjet prints. The other side of the coffee dyed paper. Just you put an altered paper clip to help hold these little journal cards. Love the coffee dyed paper, how it turned out. Fussy cut butterfly. Little fussy cut image here. Another bingo card. A mop-up page. I love how the colors just blend so well together. Oh, you use Instant. Okay, gotcha. Don't get the opportunity to get old at your house. Well, basically, I was going to save the coffee grounds out of our coffee maker to do coffee dye paper, and I remembered that I had the instant coffee, so I just used that. So here's this little envelope. This time I used the Bella Rose in the corner. Colored it with Tattered Angels. Got that chipboard piece on the coffee dyed paper that I stenciled. I love how that one turned out. Not wasting good coffee for drying. And this page, I like the way this turned out. All right, so there's the first journal. And this will be the journal with the ruffle on the cover. So if you want this journal when your name is called, shout it out. All right, we're going to quickly just kind of go through this journal just so you know the differences. So this journal has the flat on the front. It's the planner journal page cover. It's the same printed image here, and it'll have the same concept on the inside. Maybe a few of the fussy cut elements might be slightly different, but for the most part, it's the same. So here's our fussy cut envelopes. Here's the journal cards that are inside. I didn't stamp around this one, but it had a nice pattern, so I didn't have to stamp it. And then this side, got a little journal card there, our fussy cut scrap. And then, you know, I'm okay with the messiness of it. It's just part of it. And then this is a journal card over here. We have a tag. And then we still have different journal cards, bingo cards, and tags here. You see the fussy cut coming down there. And then my little altered paper clip to keep it from falling out. Onion skin paper. Planner page. It's a different planner page, but it's still just one of the planner pages and a different one of these images. Curly swirly there. Curly swirly. And we showed this layered pocket. Now this one didn't get glued shut, I hope. Well, it may have. It did. That one did too. Well, it'll look like you opened it. That it was sealed shut for shipping. That's right. Yep, that's it. It was sealed shut for shipping. And the big journal card. Easier to buy coffee dyed paper. Exactly, Janice. There's this little notepad. The stationery paper, just different images here. Another different, this is from the planner kit. Use some of the images, another planner page. A large word search. And then here's the center of the journals with our other faux envelope, but this one didn't get glued shut. And this little notepad. I like adding the little stamped image on there. So you can kind of see both ways which one you like better. If you donated, get in there. You're a sucker for word searches. You think they're fun? Yeah. It took you all day to coffee dye last time. Not going to do it again. See, that's why I don't do it. You buy your dyed tape paper too. No fuss, no muss. So this also had a little smudge on it, I noticed after checking out the journal pages. So I just added another piece, and that'll go over here. Planner page. Different journal cards, but the same concept here. And this one keeps wanting to fall out, so it may need a helper. So we got a little bingo card up there. Ah, you put them at the dollar store. Yep, yep. The single rows down here. Smudges are proof of handmade. Exactly. Yeah, you do it the way that I showed. It's so much easier just to paint the couple of pages that you need. It'll dry pretty quick. Doesn't take all day to dye a bunch of papers. So this one didn't get shut, and I showed this one earlier. Alrighty, y'all ready for me to pick the winner? Different pocket. And I've already signed it. Alright, so I'm going to tie it shut. Let's pick the first winner, and you tell me which journal that you want. Hopefully you're already in. I'm going to check to see how many people have donated, and they'll call it out. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13, and 14 people. So let's look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people have entered the raffle. Good job, everybody. You're over the holidays, so I didn't even use hardly any of it. Oh, no. I took a page out of Pam from the Paper Alphabet book and did a lot in the summer and put them outside to dry during the day. I did well over 1,000 pages that way. Wow. That's crazy, Austin, to do that many. All right, let's pick a winner. The first winner is Giovanna. You haven't won a journal in a while. Congratulations, Giovanna. Do you want the ruffle or do you want the flat? Ruffle or flat? Big butterfly or little butterflies? Let me know which one you want, and then I'll pick the second person, and you will get the other journal. Congratulations! Congratulations, Giovanna! All right, let's see. That's a lot of pages. 1,000 pages? Wow, I couldn't imagine. Waiting on Giovanna. Tell me which journal you want, Giovanna. Did she leave? So then I got to pick the second winner. Come on, Giovanna, where are you? Pick a journal. Yes, please. Gift this journal ruffle to someone in chat who has never won a journal from Linda. So you're saying in the chat who has never won a journal from me. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to pick the next person. Okay, journal with the ruffle. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do something weird. Okay, we're going to pick the next winner. So we're going to pick a winner. Eric, Erica, you won the journal. You won this journal. All right, so I'm going to open up. We're going to reset. Okay, reset. Eric won the journal, and we're going to reset this, and I'm going to say free for all. Free journal raffle. Open. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Everybody, donators or not, can enter the raffle because Giovanna has donated her win. For those that have never won a journal before, enter the raffle. Thank you, Giovanna. That's so sweet. Yeah, Erica finally got one. All right, so if you've never won one of my journals, enter the raffle right now. And we're going to pick a winner who's never won one of my journals. Thank you, Giovanna. You can't enter it now, right, Eric? Because you won. Thank you, Giovanna. That was very sweet of you to donate back so that someone else can have a chance. Woo, Carrie won 100 junk bucks. All right, I'll give you a couple of minutes. So if you've never won one of my journals, definitely enter. Yeah, Henry's never won one of my journals. All right, if you've never won one of my journals, let's see if you can win now. All right. Ashley says you can't. Well, if you were to win one of my journals, then I would get it back. All righty. Your Way Crafting, she got in. Yay, congratulations getting in. I'll give you a couple more minutes. All right, 2 more minutes. I want to get off here by 6:15. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Be on the lookout for, thank you so much, Austin. That's funny. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support. Do be on the lookout for my tutorials. I had the coffee dyeing tutorial. I should be, hopefully tomorrow I'm going to finish the monochrome journal. I hope. That's my plan anyway. And then I've got some more tutorials that I've been working on, planning out. I've got one where I watched Pam, the Outpost. She kind of shared a tutorial, and I want to do my own version of it to see how it comes out. Okay. All right. Just gonna ask, yeah, he's my husband. Henry's my husband. You're very welcome, Tanya. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate your support. I hope you enjoyed this. All right, so we've got Vicky, Margarita, Julie, Your Way Crafting, Robin, and Janice. Well, I already know that Your Way Crafting has never won one of my journals. Margarita won last week. Vicky, have you never won a journal from me? Let's see whose name I come up with first. So pick a winner. Janice Brammer is the name that came up, but I know Janice has won a journal, so I'm going to pick another person. And Robin's already won. All right, Vicky, have you ever won a journal? I know, that's going to look like, you have won. The first time here, lots of questions. Well, I'm glad you came Your Way Crafting. You got a small one, but not a big journal. So, Vicky, you won. Vicky, let's put you down. Vicky is the winner of the big, oh, it's not winter. Winner of the journal today with the ruffle. All right, there we go. Why is it duplicating? All right, Vicky, congratulations. Thank you all again for being here. Thank you. And I have your address, Vicky, because you won a small journal at Christmas time. You're very welcome. Well, Giovanna said for someone who hadn't won before. So there you go. You hadn't won one of my big journals. You won a little journal. Alrighty, everybody. You want, who's getting this? Robin's got to go tinkle. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. Come back Monday. I can't decide yet. I may be working on one of Norella's new kits. And then I had somebody else that said another kit they want me to do. You have a whole bunch of other crap. Oh, Carrie Ann, you just missed it, but next time you'll type exclamation point raffle. Next time, type exclamation point raffle. Y'all have a blessed night. I'm going to get off here and eat some dinner with my husband. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. You're very welcome. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun hanging out with me this afternoon. Again, if you could leave me a message after this live stream ends down below in the comment section, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's go ahead and we're going to end this. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great week. I will. Austin says, tell Henry I said he's handsome. Austin, you're so bad. Love you too, Margie. Thanks for being here. Bye, Eric. Love you, Ashley. Y'all have a great week. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye, Laura. Bye, Julie. Bye, Robin. Thank you so much for your help and supporting me in Austin. Thank you so much. Carrie Ann, thank you for being here. Y'all come Monday, okay? Alrighty, I'm going to get off here. Share this video if you learned something. You think others would like it, then come hang out. Remember, you can go speed through the video. All right, we'll talk to you later, everybody. Bye.